Are we? Like right now?
Now.
Meow.
Start, now's the intro. Now inside door. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 61 of No Bucks Given, right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel and the Horny Goat Podcast Network, where of course you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platforms: Anchor, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio, just to name a few. It's a show where we talk about anything and everything that we want to talk about in the world of entertainment, sports, or just whatever sort of tomfoolery and shenanigans that we want to divulge ourselves and yourselves into. What?
Tomfoolery.
Speaking of tomfoolery, I think he just banged his Achilles heel. You right there, Jay Pizzle?
Me. Right into the corner of the desk drawer.
Was it Datney or
Disney?
Anyway, we got the usual crew. I am Mr. Marvel 613, hosting along with the wonderful members of the Horny Goat crew. I got with me Canadian Basement and everyone's favorite power couple, JP and Heather. What is up, fam?
Oh, fuck.
Not much. Today's been one of those days. I've watched a couple of things that made me reflect on, stuff. Sorry, I watched a show on HBO Max that I highly recommend everybody fucking watches if you suffer from PTSD. It's called War Torn.
I did. I saw. I think I saw some
good.
clips of something like that. Yeah, it looked intense. I'll say that much.
It's very good. Okay. Well, it's very good.
Don't ask questions.
Well, you got along his basement stream.
Don't ask questions.
What?
So I watched Band of Brothers today. I watch it maybe once a year. It's a really good series. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. It's really good. And then I watched, just scrolling through, and nothing else was on. I wasn't gonna watch basketball because fuck that shit.
Until you did watch basketball.
Well, I watched basketball. The Badgers.
Come on, you can.
That's it. That's all I watched. I watched one game. I didn't watch basketball at all today.
One game more than I watched.
I fell asleep through most of it.
I agree with you. I just love the fuck that shit. Well, you did watch basketball. Well, one game.
Well, one game, but I barely watched. I watched maybe a half of it. But either way. So I've been watching documentaries on PTSD and war and just reflecting on things. And I got up and I found like a dog tag that has the Army warrior ethos and the Army credo, which is loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And it had Wendy put it up on the thing, and it was kind of like, I thought I cleaned the room good enough, but apparently I didn't. So
I'm not saying this as a joke. I'm dead serious about that. That's a lot to fit on it. Like, is that on like printed on both sides of the dog tag? It just seems like I don't know how the hell they would fit all of that on one dog tag. I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all. I'm genuinely serious because I'm a stupid civilian.
It's really hard to read.
Oh, okay. So it is small enough. Okay.
So I do. This is one thing that I did want to say. I want people to think about this as I read this. This is a warrior ethos. Now, imagine a soldier has to try to stay alive when he's in a situation. But listen to this. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. And I will never leave a fallen comrade. Now, put on top of that, that soldier has to keep himself alive. There's a million things going through that guy's head or that person's head at that time. And now he's just got a million other things to worry about. So, just wanted to point that out that, when you talk shit about, there's people out there that do that talk shit about soldiers and talk how bad they are for being where they are and what they do. Think about, they are, and it's been said millions of times, and I don't know if Heather's heard it. Every time I'm at a battle assembly or at a unit that I'm visiting, they always say, you sign on the dotted line and you are paying with your
You signed up for it. You knew what you were signing
No,
up
no,
for.
no, 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 no. You get paid, but you're also paying up to death. And freedom isn't free. And I want people to understand that. And nobody fucking gets that in our society anymore. They think that they are justified, and they are. They're justified in what they do because people like me, and I'm of the 1%, that defend the right for these people to go out and fucking act like clowns all the fucking time. So that's why whenever I hear shit about like how, you know, AOC or Antifa and they act like a fool, it kind of upsets me for that reason alone. Yes, I gave them that right to do that, but that doesn't mean it justifies it. But everybody seems to think it's justifiable by doing what they're doing. That's all I have to say.
Well said. I just noted that the Horny Goat Twitter just said, "We're live now. Come join the hilarity."
Because at that moment we were laughing our hands off because of what
I,
he said.
I know. I just that
But
was
no, I will try to keep it. You know, I wanted to point. I've been watching stuff and I've been reflecting today, and it's been kind of one of those days for me.
There's no format to the show. It's just kind of like a go off on whatever the hell we want to talk about and just random misgivings and whatnot. Which we got some stuff to talk about. It's all listed in the description here if you're watching this on the YouTube channel.
Fuck AOC.
Seriously,
100%. Fucker, I don't care.
How you guys holding up, Heather, in basement?
Heather?
Been one of those days. Got a bunch of parties planned for my business, so.
As you can see, she won't fuck down.
It was something that was just bugging me that I wanted to get done today, but just never got done.
What, that? Yeah. You had all day. Anyway, go ahead.
I am here.
Top that shit.
Yeah.
I have nothing of like I have nothing. I've not done anything productive. I put together this like pantry closet thing yesterday, and then I had and stop me if you've heard this before. Horrible experience with Taco Bell. I know. Just bear with. So I
3 years ago.
I need to. Oh God, I need to stress that what I'm about to tell you, I understand full, clear, and well is nothing short of my own stupidity and idiocy. So, family wants Taco Bell. Fine, I get my orders. Cool. I go to the drive-through, and I see that they advertise a brand new item, and the picture didn't sell me on the brand new item, but the name suggested, yeah, you know what? I feel like destroying my body. Let's do this shit. Literally. So I ordered and consumed on my own the wonderfully aptly named double stuffed double steak grilled cheese burrito. Now, it went exactly as you think.
Rest in peace, your colon.
Colon, sewage system, anything in this building. The neighbors, I need new sheets. Is what I
The
need.
ultimate cleanse.
God, I don't know. I would not call it a cleanse, but you ever see those videos of people like unclogging sewage pipelines and watching it like and pulling like yeah. There's not enough mild salsa in the world. Anyway,
Did it impact you like immediately after eating it?
No.
Oh, okay.
All jokes aside, the burrito actually wasn't. The thing was like a fucking brick in my hand, like holding it. It was actually almost the size of like a Chipotle burrito, and I thought I was in trouble. And to be honest with you, it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was. And then it hit my stomach, and I'm like, I regret every single fucking decision in my life. There's so much self-loathing.
Did you start sweating immediately?
Oh God, yes.
The body reacts poorly to Taco Bell.
God, it was fucking. I like again. I should. Alpha said it best. Colon suicide. Yes, that's exactly what it was. Shout out to Cody and Alpha joining us in the chat. I should have I knew, but I should have known, and just it was just a dumb decision all throughout the weekend. So, and then I took an Odin sleep, so I needed to recover because my body was in shock. So, why I wasn't able to join you last evening. If you guys haven't checked out all the other cool stuff that we've done on the channel this week, we've done another episode of the Hogwarts game that Heather's been playing through. JP played another fun round of Madden. How did you do last night? I didn't get a chance, obviously.
28-19.
What's that?
We won 28-19. We're still
yeah. Nothing beats that kick though last week.
There's
That was
still
fucking crazy.
time.
So I did try to replay that. I don't know if it took, but I did try to replay it. Just through OBS, but I don't know if it took or not. But yeah, we ended up winning 28-19. We were losing 13-10 at halftime. Actually played better than I did that last game.
See, so I'm not a good luck charm after all. But you can also check out latest episode of GM Mode. We did play around a little bit with 2K23 and tried to break it, which we kind of sort of did a little bit, which was a little bit fun. And of course, the Harry Potter Roundtable episode 3 is also up. You can go check out and listen to that as well. Tomorrow we're doing, I think number 4 is my favorite. I think that one's my favorite. I think I'm going to rewatch it tomorrow, but pretty sure that's my favorite one. But anywho, we got some topics and things to discuss. Does anybody want us to start off with anything specific right off the bat?
No.
Cool.
No, I'm going to rant on all of them anyways.
They're all going to be like around the same fucking thing.
I thought there was. Now that I just remembered it, I thought there was something I shared.
There was. I can't remember what it was. And I hope I included it.
But my mother of God, do you realize that going back in the fucking chat is
impossible?
No, it's not impossible. It's just like it's mountain climbing. Like I'm doing it right now, and I'm going back to
impossible mountain climbing. Get the fucking shit out of here.
Friday, Jesus Christ! I'm only on Friday, and I'm looking. God damn. Okay.
Do you not realize how much we talk in those chats?
No shit. I mean,
there
are sometimes legitimately where I don't look on my phone for like a couple hours, and then I come back. I'm like, what? Like something triggered someone. Or there's some sort of thing that and it's usually Trek, that just it just goes off on it, and just everything else just fucking goes from there. God, am I on March 12th? March 12th. That's last week. Fuck this. All right. Let's start with new records show extent of Biden crime family connections to China. Biden's received millions of cash. You can't fuck. What? This is not.
It's just
new news.
A politician being a criminal.
Yeah,
no, it's not new news.
What to say?
News that is linked back to Hunter Biden's laptop that supposedly doesn't even exist.
Yeah, I've seen some of those fucking images. So fucked up looking.
It exists. They just aren't going to do anything about it. It's been proven that it exists.
They're too busy chasing everything else that doesn't
They're
matter.
too busy trying to indict the previous president.
We'll get there.
What they're doing.
Oh, we'll get there.
Well, it all ties together.
On Thursday, the Republican-led House Oversight Committee published banking records recently obtained from the Treasury Department that show millions of dollars being transferred from a Chinese energy firm to members of the Biden family. The release letter explains that the House Oversight Committee requested these financial records in late February in order to obtain critical information central to the investigation of the Biden family business dealings. The committee recently obtained financial stupid quote. The Republican members of the committee explained that ranking member Jamie Raskin attempted to spread disinformation about the bank records by repeatedly leaving out that the Bidens received, quote, a $3 million wire from a Chinese company in March of 2017. From 2015 through 2017, Biden family members and their companies received over $1.3 million in payments from Rob Walker-related accounts. The letter revealed, adding that the records show Haley Biden, James Biden, Hunter Biden, and a fourth unknown Biden received funds. Oh, God. Is it April 2018, Biden?
I want to see the unknown wrestler thing show up. Unknown Biden. It will be there at WrestleMania. I just honestly, the fucking, if you look back, okay, if you go through a bunch of fucking shit, you'll find ties from Biden to like, the guy's a fucking career criminal, just like he's a career politician. Like you go, like the whole fucking his love is like balls deep activity with the Ukraine, 100% self-serving.
Absolutely, and it's getting ridiculous now. We're sending so much money over there and nothing's being done here. I mean,
I'll never
You
get
are
over.
not the World Bank.
I'll never get over the idea of a country sending money to another country while their citizens sleep on the streets. It's just there's no excuse for it, and it's like, well, they're
It's not
in
even
war.
just
It's like, well, fuck, man, half your country is fucking shambles.
It's not even just the citizens. There are soldiers sleeping on the streets right now.
Well, you guys also did trade for a fucking gigantic basketball woman instead of a soldier, so I don't know.
Yeah, you all know my thoughts on that one.
No, it blows my mind, and I mean Canada's the same way. Like we'd rather the political fucking the disgusting behavior of shaking hands with different politicians instead of like raising up your own populace is fucking weird to me. And it's like, why would you? If you look at like if you took America as a whole and turned it into a person, it would be a fucked up person. And it's like, is that person really giving like the helping hand to everybody else? They shouldn't be, because they're in fucking dire straits. And Canada's pretty much the same way. We got so much homelessness for some fucked up reason, and cost of living is impossible.
So can I just say that it's a very intriguing time that right now, in this exact moment, in March, technically March 20th on our side, March 20th of 2023, right now that the former president of the United States is under hot fire, the current president of the United States is apparently now under investigation, and Putin is also on watch. It's like, what the fuck?
Because they're all the same.
On?
They're all the same fucking person.
Yeah, they're all in the same cloth.
Yeah.
This is why. This is okay. This is one of the many reasons why, and I should follow politics more. But like when I hear shit like this, it's such a.
Honestly, the more you follow politics, the more you want to fucking shoot yourself in the head. I'm telling you, it's the worst thing to get into. It will fucking morph you as a person, and it will get you.
So that's one reason I hated going up to his father's with him, because I knew the minute we walked in the door, it'd be political back and forth.
So I mean, yes, you are 100% correct, but my dad, I mean, he wanted somebody to talk to, and that was the only way he thought, being able to talk to somebody.
I mean, sound strategy. I'm not gonna lie.
It wasn't because both especially me and my oldest younger brother.
That's a fucking sentence.
I need a second there for that one too.
Brother, my youngest full brother, Paige's dad.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still wrapping head around the oldest, youngest brother. Okay.
Dad would sit there and he tried converting me to liberalism day one. It's like, Dad, just quit. Just stop. It's okay. My thing is, when did politics and policy become everyday life? I remember growing up as a child, and it was every 4 years, and it wasn't like the mudslinging has always been there, but it wasn't. It was never this
volatile.
I think it was post 9/11.
It's more childish than it is. It's like we are putting children into office, fighting over. Well, he's just a mean person. I'm going to tell you right now. The people that voted for Joe Biden only voted for Joe Biden because they thought Donald Trump was a mean person. Think about that for a fucking minute.
I think that change realistically happened in the Barack Obama stage, because that was like when identity started to become more important than policy. And that's pretty much what has run through up until today, where people want to vote for somebody because either they're not somebody else or they fit certain categories that aren't real, that people perceive because they're told to look at this way. Like Biden is not fucking. In all honesty, Biden at his core, I don't think he's pro LGBTQ. Now he's like the fucking flagship for it. But in the past, he fucking hated gay couples.
He hated gays. He hated black people.
So and now that's his platform. So okay, go with it.
Again, this is why I don't.
Go ahead, Connor. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to reemphasize the point of like I tend to go down rabbit holes on all sorts of different aspects, usually on the entertainment side of things, obviously, right? And just I shit like this, and I'm not talking just specifically Biden, but even like the Trump stuff, and even but like to JP's point, like political climate has gotten so volatile in the last decade, I'd say.
I mean, okay, all it does
anymore.
is divide people. All it does is divide people ideologically, and it revs them up to go. And half the time, I've talked to people about politics that are so upset about politics, yet it doesn't matter to their daily life. It's like you've never experienced this. Why are you're willing to like fucking crucify someone online because of a political view that you never encounter or never have encountered or never will encounter? It's that. Politics goes hand in hand with like bandwagonism, if that's a word. People just jump on because it makes them feel good because I'm on the right side. When media portrays something as being the right side, it's popular to like Biden, it's popular to hate Trump, and that goes forward. And it's just like when you go down the rabbit holes for entertainment, at least in the end, it's entertaining. Politics is like soul dissolving. Because these are the people that are hand in hand running the country, and then the more you learn about them, the more you're like, oh my god, we're all fucked. Everything's fucking terrible. The world is a horrible place.
This is why
both parties are feeding off of that.
Parties, look, and I'm not taking one side or the other. I think both parties are fucking guilty of this.
Ross Perot for life.
It's I just don't understand why in the fuck. I mean, like literally, I enjoy the voting process, but it's like now it's like these fucking people make it seem like it's gotta be a fucking job. It's just like, okay,
it's a popularity contest, man.
It's advantageous for them to keep us divided.
Make it a fucking job. It's your job. No, it's not my job. It's a civic duty. And anybody that fucking votes, good for you. Anybody that doesn't, good for you. You have that right. You're not required to vote. My thing is if you don't vote, you have no right to fucking bitch. Period. Even though you still have the right. But don't come to me and start complaining about things. Because you're not going to the first question that's going to come out of my mouth is, did you vote? And if they say no, I tell my brothers, because he don't vote. And I told my brother this. He said, you will not talk politics with me. You will not talk shit about anybody because you didn't vote.
I mean, if your stance on politics is I hated
his excuse and everybody's excuse that doesn't vote, if you talk to people, their excuse is, well, it's not going to matter. Are you sure it's not going to fucking matter?
If you don't vote and your stance is you hate all people running, it's like, I mean, I hate all politics. I hate everyone involved in it. You can say that and not vote.
Nice to meet you.
I mean, so my thing is you can talk about it, but don't sit there and tell me you know what I mean?
It's don't. Okay, if you don't vote, you don't really get the right to spew hate against one person or the next. If you universally hate politics, that's fine. But if you're fucking gonna like stand behind or stand against someone emphatically, and you didn't vote, then you don't really get the right to do that.
Okay, but hear me out here. And what I'm about to say / ask is coming from someone who is coming from someone who is not very politically savvy as far as the process of the due diligence or anything like that. So bear with me on my fucking idiocy. I think that statement of my vote didn't matter, I partially agree with your statements on that, because I think in certain parts of the country it doesn't.
It's pissing upstream.
And right. So for example, there are clearly, and again, looking at it from the outside here, and again, not really paying attention to the last couple of elections, there are clearly certain sections of the country that are obviously like no bones about it. There's almost no fucking way it's going to flip to the other side.
So just going to say this, where you live
Yep.
is one of those.
Correct.
Fucking
That's my
Boston
point.
shit.
And I voted Republican. So my vote didn't matter. So my point is that, like, to the swing states, yes, the vote does count because you can literally swing the election one way or the other depending on how things go. But for certain parts of the country that are more or less locked into that side, whether it be red or blue, doesn't matter. But locked in, that feels like you're almost pissing it away to an extent. Unless you really got enough people to really swing it and make an upset. I mean, shit, it's happened. But
it did in 2016.
Correct.
I mean,
but
what infuriates me. Sorry, Connor, finish your.
No, I was just saying, like, I feel like I hear that a lot too about the idea of, like, oh well, if I don't vote, then I don't have the right to complain. Well, I feel like that's kind of splitting hairs depending on this, and I'm being very specific, obviously, but
all I meant by that is, yes, honest, great. I'm talking about me personally. If you're going to come at me and tell me that if you don't vote and you come at me and tell me that I vote because of who I voted for, I will say, did you vote? And if they say no, then shut the fuck up.
That's a different different conversation altogether.
I also have talked to people that were like, yes, I vote. I always vote, but they have they're negative knowledge on politics, who's running. They just fucking go there and check off a box because they think they have to do it, and it's just like, who did you vote for? Or it's like, I voted for the Green Party. Nobody fucking cares about them. They don't even care about them. They've come out and said they don't care about them. So it's like,
party, woo.
So it's like when you go out and you basically throw away your vote, but then you're gonna want to be like in on conversation that has anything to do with politics. It's like, man, what the fuck?
I honestly think that those people that are, like, because they're only allowing, the debate, they only allow the Democrat and the Republican. The reason that none of the others get to debate is because they would then bury both parties because they are so fucking far in the rabbit hole. Both parties are so far in the fucking rabbit hole that they can't dig themselves out of it. So they don't allow the fucking other parties to fucking debate with them because they will probably
come out with the real issues.
They will probably come out with the real issues. If you've ever watched a debate, they ask them the question and then they beat around the bush for 90 seconds. And then they want to rebuttal to something that nobody answered.
The debate is it's like two fucking idiots talking to each other in a room. And nobody actually answers the question. It's more like, I'm going to I don't want to ever say anything wrong. But in not saying anything wrong, you don't really say anything at all.
Yeah, it's a political sideshow, and then they are professional circle talkers.
This is Barack Obama. He's a great talker, but he never answered the fucking question. You would get caught into what he was saying.
Oh no, there was one question he fucking answered.
What's that?
And that question was answered all the fucking time. And that was, you would be the one responsible for your health insurance, and not these fucking big dollar CEOs giving up their fucking 6-figure fucking bonuses every fucking other week.
Let me tell you.
Mr. Obama, get to the point.
That's what I'm saying. You would draw out, and I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to say to me?
It was a really like slow talker, man.
Yes.
He had like he did have like charisma, and his like voice commanded attention, but it was just so drawn out, everything he said, because his mind was working. Like I could see the hamster in the wheel in his brain.
I feel.
Until he came out with the Bob the Builder phrase of, yes, we can.
I think
everybody fell for it and fucking sinker.
Yeah, but think about what he's talking about at the time. What if it's something terrible? Kill your family. Yes, we can.
let me be clear. When it comes to killing family,
Really was Black William Shatner.
I just can't. I couldn't listen to him. I couldn't.
And also like the fact that he got like Basically, because of his ethnicity, it was just like he can do no wrong. He is the great black savior.
Oh my God! If you see New York after he was elected, ooh, they would have been pissed the fuck off even more. But New York, there were people, and my dad and myself both witnessed it. Somebody parking in the fire zone, and so we could do that now. We're black, and we have a black president. It's a motherfucker.
See, here we go. That's exactly. This is so I will speak on this because as soon as I seen it the next fucking day, I went, stopped, got myself a cup of coffee, and this guy jumped in front of me. He's like, I can do this. Barack Obama's my president now. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, I mean, go ahead. I was gonna let you go anyway, but you didn't need to say anything to me. Like, why are people... This is the problem with people. Why are people like this? Ever since then, people have been, well, we deserve these reparations. But for what?
No, we have to talk about that. I don't know if you want to segue into that or not, because that's...
That was 250 fucking years ago. I had nothing to do with it. I can honestly tell you I had nothing to fucking do with it, because my family came from fucking Missouri. They didn't own them. So how in the fuck? They were poor as fuck. In fact, they were probably more poor than the fucking slaves.
Let me be clear. JP, pay up.
Pay up my ass. Fucking San Francisco. We'll get there. Trust me.
By the way, in my opinion, too, another big reason Obama won, and I'm not saying it's the only reason. I'm not saying anything negative about his qualifications or anything like that, or blah blah blah, whatever they say. He won over the internet. And I think that was a big reason he was successful.
The two guys that he beat, come on.
Yes, I'm about to say that.
McCain, yes. But you know what?
Mitt Romney.
Romney. Fucking Romney's from my neck of the woods, and I was like, Jesus Christ, let's get him flip flops.
The guys that he was running against were not helpful in this situation. However, with him making his stance so big on the internet, just like Trump did, it did help in his favor.
Oh, for sure. Reparations.
Look, we'll get there. $5 million per family. Get the fuck
okay, so the idea of reparations in 2023 is fucking laughable to me. I'm sorry, there's nobody out alive that can be... First of all, the idea of holding somebody accountable for the sins of their grandparents, grandparents, beyond that, their lineage is absolutely fucking disgusting, because like that's akin to me getting fucking someone's dad does something terrible and I attack their kid for it. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense.
So, okay, like, all right. Let me start with. Oh God, I need a drink. I wish I to stop drinking.
You're just gonna hand out $5 million to random fucking people.
So that's my first part.
Where's that coming from?
Let me start with the positive. Like, hey, this is a good it's the intentions are nice, that they're trying to be nice to these families who suffered from these horrible generations ago of slavery and racism. Cool. Period. Moving on to now the reality of everything. I cannot wrap my head around the logistic inner workings of how the fuck this is going to work without something going wrong. I cannot, you're talking going back in time when records were not
even fucking. Why do we draw the line at a certain indiscretion and not go further back and further back and further back beyond that?
Here's the thing. The funny thing is that reparations should come from Africa, because they're the ones that imprisoned those people. It was tribes were given black kings and black tribes were given money. Black chiefs were given money, or African chiefs, I should say, were given money to imprison these people so that they could be turned into slaves. So Y'all need to read your fucking history.
No,
because one little simple factor that white people didn't. Yes, they bought them. They are no more innocent than those that sold them. However, if you really want reparations, go get it from them, and then see where you get.
I mean, the problem is,
I think every family needs to prove that there was slavery of that kind in their family, because not every black person that is here is from Africa.
But even
I don't think anybody should be given reparations. Fucking hundred, in all honesty, first of all, it does nothing to fix the problem. All it does is give people money, and infusing a huge amount of money into a specific population that wherever that population stands, we don't know. I mean, is it just giving every fucking black person $5 million, or how do they work it out? And if it's majority giving it, this is what happened here in Canada. You give tax breaks, you give everything to, we give a lot to, we're trying to give a lot to Indigenous, and they suffered heavily for it and for everything else we took away. It was like you infused a bunch of money into an environment where people don't know how to handle money. You're gonna see all of the bad statistics go up.
It's an economic nightmare.
Yeah.
So the other, so there's two things just to piggyback off of that, and one of them was something that Basement just hinted at is, first of all, and this is the most whitest thing I gotta fucking say about this, so I need to put a giant asterisk on this, and I'm not condoning slavery of any kind, way, shape, or form, but obviously there are some slaves that were treated much better than others. The concept of slavery is still horrible by all stretch of the imaginations, and I'm not condoning that. But are you taking that into consideration? On top of which, this this boils down to something that I've dealt with in my in life experience, and I'm sure you guys have too, is putting a financial amount of money, putting a fucking price tag on something that I don't understand how you fucking got to that number. Forget the concept of paying or trying to pay reparations in general, the actual concept, but to put numeric value on something like this, saying oh, being a slave, essentially you're saying, oh, you being, or you're having a family member being a slave cost X, is astounding to me. It goes, this also just in general, and I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, when you see lawsuits and other things like that and settlements and stuff, it's oh, you're putting a financial actual X number on whatever this horrible thing is, whether it be misconduct or negligence or any sort of bullshit like that. It just baffles me that it's hey, your great grandfather was a slave, so here's a check for X, we're good. What?
It goes to those parents suing Alex Jones, sorry. $10 million because he got 9 million views.
It's the distance in who was impacted and who exists today. And yes, I know there's going to be people out there that are they're, because of what happened to their great grandparents or great grandparents, it really impacted their parents or their grandparents, and then their life because of the position that they were put in. But I mean, can you say that with any factual evidence that is it's no different than fucking how, okay, so once slavery is abolished, the slaves themselves, how far off treated were they from brand new immigrants of any other color?
Well, and
then that's where the starting point is. So then, do you give reparations to people that immigrated 2 generations ago because they had a very tough time starting off in America, or where in Canada, wherever?
Or Egyptians paying reparations to the Jewish people because they made them build their temples?
Or the British for everything fucking they did to everybody. So
I want everybody to think about this. Anybody that works and has a boss is technically a slave. Think about that.
The only difference is with slavery, the assumption that you can do anything to the person. It's not the same because of threat of violence, sexual harassment that happened within slavery days, but that's not the case for every slave. Again, and I'm with you. Like, the thing is, everybody here trying to make a living wage, getting paid for 40 hours a week that won't allow them to afford a place to live or to put food on their table. What's the difference in that versus slave labor, where you were given those things and expected to do a job between certain hours, but not beaten and not sexually harassed? Like, the movies have fucking turned that up to 11.
Well, yes, they have. I mean, you just gotta look at the sweatshops that have been broken up over in China recently. The ones making Nike shoes and the ones building Apple iPhones. That's more. It's fucking. They're getting pennies a day to make a cell phone that costs $1,200, $1,500.
By the way, I just want to confirm that No Books Given has officially been canceled as of this conversation. So
there's a really interesting thing that I saw online that I'll probably share with you guys afterwards, or it's something we might want to react to later in the show. But it's the turning of the tables of like race relations that are happening.
Oh, okay.
And it's an interesting watch because there's a lot of good points being made. I don't agree with 100% of it, but it's a lot of good points being made about the way the world is changing, and the things that I'm seeing nowadays is kind of closer to this era of like the era of slavery, of fucking hold down people because of the color of their skin. We were away from it for a while. We are getting right back. But it's something that we might take a look at in a bit.
We're going back into it because politics drove us that way.
That's definitely part of it.
Well, I mean,
it's a big part of it.
It's part of everyday life. I mean, okay, I'll be honest with you. There's not very many different ethnicities around here where we live. There are more Mexicans and Latinos than there is of African Americans or
Middle Eastern,
Asian, Middle Eastern. You find most of those in the bigger cities, but we do not. I've always, and this blows my mind when people tell me that I'm inherently racist or whatever, and I'll be like, how? Do you even fucking know me? Like, what does that even fucking mean? I'm inherently racist. If I said the N-word in my house or at my grandmother's house, I don't think I would be here today.
You wouldn't.
And then people are like, well, just because you don't say it, I understand that. It's how you treat people.
The thing is,
and Aaron said it in the chat. Treat others, and my mom said this. Treat others as you would want to be treated. And I never wanted to be treated poorly, so I never treated anybody poorly, ever.
My approach to like humanity and mankind is, when it comes to like, we're going to talk about the N-word, it's either nobody should say it or everybody can say it. I don't like the picking and choosing, because then you're on a different like social stature. Just because of the color of your skin, you're on a different social stature of what's acceptable for you to say versus what's not. You don't see where that problem might fucking extrapolate into terribleness down the line, because this is like, that's the beginning of like fucking unequal treatment dependent on color.
Let me tell you this. I had somebody tell me that I can't use the word cracker because it's their word.
I mean, nobody really cares. Cracker's a racist term, but nobody fucking gives a shit about it because
it's an actual food item too.
It's a saltine, motherfucker.
The thing is, I mean, if you're meeting people,
right back. You guys keep going.
If you're meeting people in like your everyday life that is like resorting to fucking racial words or racial stereotypes every fucking time they talk to you, then you're probably someone you don't want to hang around with. That's bottom line.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, two big names I can drop for you that are also black, that tell the boys that they mentor and the girls that they mentor, stop using that word because it's going to get you nowhere in society.
You know, Morgan Freeman is one.
Well, then there's three. Morgan Freeman, Booker T, and Ron Simmons.
And Denzel Washington.
And Denzel Washington.
I mean, I just I don't like the. First of all, I'm not going to use the term because I don't find there's any reason for me to say it, and I want to be respectful to everybody. And there's no actual position I'd be in where I want to use the term. But if I'm going to be that way, then the expectation is that other people should too. So when I'm around somebody, if they're constantly using it, no, it doesn't really bother me too much. But socially, from a big view, from a wide view to look at what should be acceptable, like I said before, either everybody can use it or nobody can. You can't fucking pick and choose what you can do because of color. That's where fucking racism lies. So don't tell me. This is the crazy thing. So it's a YouTube video done by this Asian guy that basically lines out. It's called "What Are We Doing to White People," and it's pretty fucking interesting. The title sounds kind of racist, but it's not.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next?
I don't believe in reparations for anybody. Ever.
I don't either. I don't either. Not unless that family can prove that they are one, actually a family member of a slave, and two, that family member was killed after giving birth while being a slave.
Even then, it's still. Yeah. But the whole thing stems from this guy, and who was this guy from San Francisco? Even though this has been said he's actually California's trying to put in a law that they're gonna have to pay people because.
It's Governor Newsom behind all of this.
It's just, I just don't get it. I don't care. Sorry, it's just not.
I don't care for it. The thing is, the money has to come from somewhere, and where it's coming from is everybody gets taxed. So a huge amount of people so a huge amount of a small part, probably a small amount of the population wins the lottery. What?
So I know Gina put an article in there about Minnesota.
Oh, this is probably the next fucking rabbit hole we're gonna fall into.
Not really, because it's really not. It's not that big of a. So apparently, I don't know if it's a state senator or whatever said that he voted against feeding kids at school.
Oh, I don't know this one.
So I'm just going to speak on this real quick then.
All right.
I think personally that anything that has to do with children, and so this is where I do agree with the Democrat person that came out and said, hey, we need to start we need to take care of our children and our future. And that's 100% correct. It's coming from the surplus of the state government. So for people to complain that, we're using our tax dollars, actually you're not. They're using the surplus from the budget that's not even being used for tax dollars. So the surplus from the budget that the government has is going towards that. That's what they're doing. So for everybody saying, well, they shouldn't tax people, they're not taxing anybody. So I just wanted to point that out.
And a lot of people.
I read that article.
A lot of people got to remember, some kids, that's the only place they eat.
Mm-hmm. When I went to school, we didn't get food. We had to bring our own, or we had to pay for it at the school.
Had to buy. That's same for me.
Which, in all honesty, this is where you look at the situation of a bunch of kids that didn't have money, would go hungry at lunchtime. I think for me, it's I pay taxes in Canada. We pay a lot of taxes. I'm okay with some of my tax going towards kids' meals. Right. I have no problem getting kids food. Kids need to eat, and not this fucking bullshit that Michelle Obama went forward with. You eat lettuce, a lettuce sandwich or whatever. Give them regular fucking food that kids eat. Make sure that they eat, because if it's nothing but fucking lettuce and fucking raw onions, they're probably not going to eat that either. And you're just throwing away food.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So it's the surplus of the government. So if the government is in the black, that's where that money is going. And what I mean by in the black is they're making more than they're spending, which is where that money should go. Personally, in my eyes.
In my eyes.
All
right.
I do know that.
In my eyes.
I can't
All
remember
right.
anything else from that she put in there that
It's the Joe Biden thing at the
Joe,
top of the show.
the Joe Biden thing. Yeah, well,
Libby Joe.
I mean, that thing's been going on for fucking 10 years.
So I guess I'll switch the gears here a little bit here.
Switching to Trump.
Yep, might as well. So I talked to switch over. So do we honestly think he's like going to be in? Do you think anything's going to come of it?
He'll never spend a day in jail ever in his life.
No, I did respond to this. I don't know if you guys seen it. I responded to this guy, and he said, "Politics aside." And then he listed, if somebody does this, do you think they should go to jail? If somebody does, so he's listing things that if you break the law to go to jail for, well, yeah, you should go to jail, right? But this guy had put it, his very first line was politics aside. And I responded with, so politics is the only reason that you're saying he needs to be in jail. It's identity. No, I shouldn't say identity politics. It is deep state politics.
It's
wanting to indict this man because
if he goes to prison, he can run for president.
Either he is telling the truth and they want to get him and shut him up.
Yeah, that's 100% the case.
Right.
Or if Donald Trump broke the law, he should by all means go to jail.
The thing is, if Donald Trump goes to jail, every single fucking other one of them should go to jail right beside him.
Agreed.
Yep.
Which is funny because
Biden needs to go to fucking jail. Hillary Clinton needs to go to jail. 33,000 emails.
I love the fact that they're like picking and choosing who gets in trouble for what, and then as soon as it's like, well, you did the same thing. Well, my name's not Donald Trump, so I'm not going to prison. It's this type of fucking pick and choosing mentality. The government's fucking eating themselves. I hope to God it backfires, and I wish the fucking the justice system wasn't fucking bought and owned by media and politicians, because they would all be in jail in 10 seconds if it was me.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm going to say this. I think the time has passed for Trump to run, personally.
You think
I agree.
Has for Trump to what?
I personally think Ron DeSantis is the guy.
Same.
I think that guy could, hopefully, he has the charisma, and
he's a lot younger.
And he turned Florida into a place where, I mean, Florida wasn't a great place to go, and now he is actually turned that state around. That guy, he went against the grain, and it worked. And I think he's the guy that could be the next.
There's a couple things going for him. First of all, he's not Donald Trump, and he's not Joe Biden, and he's younger, for fuck's sake.
He's not a million fucking years old.
A couple of years.
Say 75 is younger.
Your phone's right.
Donald Trump needs to fucking I'm with you. He's past his opportunity. He's too old, and he's mired in too much fucking muck that it's just gonna make a disaster of the fucking country if he gets in. Because you think they were bad the first time, the second time, every second it's gonna be, hey, ruining my life. These fucking pink-haired weirdos on Twitter.
Money in my bank account, but it's because of Trump. I don't like it.
Ron DeSantis is 44 years old.
I'm moving to Canada again.
I'm still waiting to see all these celebrities that said they were gonna leave. Actually,
they're all fucking horse shit dumpsters.
They say that because they say that because then their people will be like, oh, please don't go.
No, they stayed because they realized if they went to Canada, they'd lose half of their fucking income to taxes.
They're not coming to Canada. We don't want them.
Blame Canada.
I don't want them. Fuck, Canada probably be like, come, we'll buy you a house. Fucking Canada.
You don't want yourself in Canada.
Sent me a news clip. Apparently, Governor Newsom is deciding to tax people to build 1,200 tiny homes for the homeless.
Tiny homes?
There is literally no answer to homelessness. No matter what you do, build them homes, they'll
Well,
fuck them up.
There is an answer to it. It's up to them whether or not they want to fucking do anything.
Yeah, no, obviously if they're living on the fucking streets, they don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
There's no true fix to homelessness. You can have things that can mitigate homelessness, but and because there's no money in homelessness, it won't get looked at.
Boo.
Boo-earns.
Boo-earns. I was saying boo-earns.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance Trump spends any time in jail, even if he's indicted or some shit. You know how long it takes for that shit to process and go through and all this garbage.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be months.
Yeah, like I first of all, I don't agree. I'm not a fucking. I don't like Donald Trump. Okay, as a person, he seems like pretty slimy and shitty, and egotistical. However, when he was president, I didn't really see a huge problem with most of his policies. Yes, some of them were like, what the fuck? This, however, is a bunch of fucking dweebs that got like bent out of shape for the way that he was and the things that he said that were like, we're going to ruin that man's life. I don't care if I have to ruin my life to ruin his life. I'll do it. And that's what I see happening because it's a witch hunt and it's always been one. Yes, he's done illegal things, but I swear to God, half the people fucking trying to bury him, if they owned a mirror, they'd see. They themselves are nowhere near better than him. They're probably just the fucking exact same.
So when are you gonna move to the States?
I don't know. I don't really care for this. I don't really care. I'm gonna live fucking. Just put me on an island somewhere. Leave me alone.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. No,
The thing is, I like Canada. I just don't like where I live in Canada. It's 98% fucking super liberals. And I used to like. I mean, I have like the original liberal. That's what I am. I believe in a lot of like original
OG liberale.
the original liberal beliefs, but the new age liberal is fucking weird, man. And it's like a cult of follow us or you're dead.
I feel like
We hate you.
It's a lot of society stuff is join our side. People are afraid to be wrong.
Yeah, well, join our side or you're our enemy.
People walk on eggshells anymore. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you don't agree with one side, you end up walking on eggshells.
I know, and it's infuriating.
It is so infuriating. Like if I go into a store and I see it. So if I go into a store and I see somebody of a different, ethnicity, or if I know that they're Democrat or whatever, I have to walk, and they know me. I have to walk on eggshells around them.
Yeah, it's no.
It's sad.
It's like that's why I just ignore people. Unless I'm like a relatively good friend to someone, I can have an open discussion about politics or about fucking what their beliefs are. That's fine.
That's why you don't respond to my texts.
I fucking hate you, man.
I get it. Well, that's the dad jokes. I get it. That's what literally. That's all. The JP and Heather can test. That's all my Facebook is 95% dad jokes at this point. So
I don't have Facebook.
That's and that's the reason why. All right. Speaking of DeSantis, might as well talk about his whole thing about his Florida ban on gender transitioning for minors is now in effect.
Good.
So Florida's rule to stop minors from undergoing gender transition procedures now come into effect, and Republican state lawmakers are forging ahead with plans to strengthen the restrictions even further. Florida Board of Medicine's new measure, which took effect this past Thursday, prohibits the use of puberty blockers, hormone therapies, or surgeries to treat gender dysphoria for anyone in the Sunshine State under the age of 18. Why did they decide to use the Sunshine State thing in that part of the whatever? While the kids who were already receiving gender affirming treatment prior to Thursday continue to do so, they aren't able to undergo sex reassignment surgeries under the new rule. Separately, GOP lawmakers are currently advancing a bill through the Florida Senate that'll make it a felony to provide any such gender affirming care to minors, as well as ban ban state funds from being used to cover the same care for adults. So I think the minors part is where
I am 100% in favor of this.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm.
the thing.
Yep.
No minor knows what they want to do until now. I'm going to say this: if Wendy comes to me and says, "I want to be a boy," I say, I'm going to tell her, I am not going to let you do anything to your body until you're 18. And if you still feel like you want to be that person, have at it. But do not come to me for any. I will be there to support you, but I will not pay for it. I will not. And I will stand on that. And if I go to jail over it, I go to jail over it.
No, I don't think
a lot of these people that are actually for it have no children of their own, so they don't see how many times in a day that 4-year-old little girl out there calls herself Logan because that's her favorite character on a YouTube channel she fucking watches.
Yeah, I think
she calls herself a fucking dog at times. Okay, you don't understand when they are this young. They don't fucking know the difference between boy or girl. They have no idea of it. They don't know what they are. They don't care. They're children. They're gonna play.
So yesterday, a prime example, yesterday, I can't remember what I was talking, and I said something, and she said, I'm a boy. I'm like, no, you're not. You just said 5 minutes ago you were a girl. And that's because I said, I remember when I was a kid, when I was little, just like you, and she said, I'm a boy. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. So this is what I'm saying. The 4-year-old child, 5-year-old child, 6-year-old child, 7-year-old child, they don't understand what the difference is between a boy and a girl. And they should not know that difference until they get to that puberty age.
Exactly.
I mean, I think the parents making the choice for gender affirming surgery and drugs is dangerous for any kid that's not 18 years of age or older, where you can kind of make your own life decisions no matter what they may be. I do agree with the idea. Like, obviously you have a kid and the kid's like presenting after puberty, presenting that a lot more male than female if she's a girl or whatever, then you can support her. There's no, like, yes, support the child and what they want to be, you know, dress that way, act that way, whatever. The change that is irreversible should not be allowed to happen until they are of age to do so. Bottom line. And I mean, the kids, like the weird discussion that happens, especially with younger kids, it's like, well, they know exactly what they want. They know exactly what they want. Unchecked, that kid would run in traffic. They don't know anything. Dude, stop putting these blinders on. That's like, my kid is different. My kid knows everything. It's like, your kid knows fucking jack shit. Wait until they're older. Don't fucking teach them. Don't get all these gender books and like sex books for kids that don't even know what that is. And I've seen that like in my friends here in Canada. I've seen them find books that are like, what the fuck is this? Talking about like 2 gay dads, 2 gay moms. The dads have sperm and moms are like, it's some weird shit. It's like, why is this for a 4-year-old?
Exactly. I mean, if it kept it at just 2 gay moms and 2 gay dads, fine. That just helps it makes it easier for you to explain to your child that in some situations there are going to be 2 moms or 2 dads.
That's fine, but they go in way beyond that.
They dive into that and go into the no.
Yeah,
no.
Why are you teaching a 5-year-old about sex? Regardless of if they're girl, boy, think they're girl or boy, or fucking everything in between. Like, they are not ready to learn about sex. Yes, they'll learn about it and they'll repeat the fucking words you're saying because they're parrots. Like, what people don't understand is like 90% of your kid, when your kid's fucking 5 to 10 years old, is parroting your behavior.
Yes. Wendy walks around the house. And
even if you take, oh god, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say Wendy repeats everything I say. Like if I,
Oh.
what the fuck that hurt? Wendy will
I've seen the little hand gestures.
Thing. So kids mock what adults do. That's what kids do. I did it as a child. Danielle did it as a child. Wendy's doing it as a child. Heather does it to me. She mocks me. She
openly.
It's fun.
Well, she doesn't mock me. She copies me. So,
but this is
line.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Line.
I'm a parent.
Are you?
I've raised 2 kids. Well, I'm raising one now, and I helped raise another. I do not, and I wish I could ask my daughter what she thinks, because she has 2 kids of her own. Both of them are about the same age as Wendy, and I can almost guarantee you now. My grandson's a little eccentric, and
he's open and free.
He'll play with Barbie dolls,
which is fine.
He has a sister, so his sister will coax him into fucking playing with fucking Barbie dolls.
Well, Danielle also gave him the baby dolls to play with to learn how to deal with a baby sister.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
And he was wearing, I can't remember, I think he put on a dress at Wendy's birthday or what. I can't remember. He was just playing.
No, it was the apron. The cooking apron.
Oh, the cooking apron? He wanted to wear the cooking apron. And I'm like,
we only have a pink one.
It's like, and I would, if that was the only apron that I had as a pink one, that's what I would have worn. Like, who cares? It doesn't make me want to be a girl. It just means that's the only thing that I got that,
No, but these people will see that, and then they'll be like, oh my God, he's showing it, because these parents are like fucking in love with the LGBTQ movement. Maybe they themselves are part of that, and they're like, oh my God, he's showing that he has a feminine side, and they'll roll with it, and then they'll start promoting it. That, to me, I would call child services, because it is grooming of the child. And now you see a lot of these fucking, like, this is where, like, when I was creating this whole thing, I said, like, the LGBTQIA plus movement is in controversial waters, because a lot of fucking weirdos have, like, used that umbrella to do weird shit with young kids.
Yep.
And trying to get away with it, because it's like, you can't really, this is the tribalism we were talking about. You can't talk out against it because everyone's on eggshells. I mean, like, are you going to be labeled as a hater, lose your job, lose your life because you're like, no, I don't think I would send my fucking 3-year-old to a party that has drag queens with their breasts out.
Mm-hmm. No. I would not mind Wendy being around drag queens as long as they remained respectfully dressed.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the huge difference.
I wouldn't bring a kid around strippers. It's kind of the same fucking thing, you know? Like,
well, that was going to be my point. Is that, like, if you, for me, it's, again, I like, okay, great. They want to feel comfortable in this, and they want to be themselves. Okay, but we're talking like some really heavy implications for like take the gender like identity out of the conversation. Just look at the core facts of, you're doing some massively major chemical rearranging and physical rearranging of them with these surgeries and shit. So you just, like, look at it from the hardcore science fact of it.
If it wasn't under the identity, if it wasn't under the identity politics umbrella, nobody would approve doing this.
Like, no, like I scoff at the idea of, like, oh, what if, like, a 16-year-old wants breast enhancement surgery? It's like, that's like toting a fine line to an extent.
No. If it was me and my daughter, I'd be like, man, you can, it's your body, you can do whatever you want, but there's got to be a certain, I got to know you're mentally ready to make that decision. Exactly. And even at 18, if, like, I had a daughter that I didn't think was mentally ready to make a decision that was life-altering surgery, I would question it. I wouldn't be able to stop her legally, but I would be like, I don't think you should do it. And that's just me, but if you go ahead with it, you go ahead with it. I can't, it's not my say at that point, but, like, fuck.
Exactly. If Wendy comes to that decision when she's older that this is what she wants, and that's how she feels, I would give her all of the research material behind every single one of those processes first.
Yeah,
And then
they don't understand the work.
And make her understand exactly everything that's going into it and how much of it she will not ever be able to change back, no matter what she does.
Now this comes with it comes with the caveat of like the media promoting it as something like they'll promote it like a fad, which I find disgusting. Because it shouldn't be a fad. It shouldn't be a fucking, oh, this is my goth phase. This is me cutting my dick off phase. No, it's not a phase. It's irreversible, man.
Permanent.
This all leads into kind of something that I put in here with this hockey player.
Yeah. He used to play for the Leafs, I think.
The issue isn't that he's being ostracized because he hates.
He's openly hating anybody.
No, he's not being. His beliefs aren't being respected.
Exactly.
Right. So a lot of hockey teams, like every sport does it now, where they have to like and a lot of the owners of these teams are being forced to do this because that's the thing to do.
That's the hot topic.
If they believe these things, they're just doing it to appease the fan base. Because a lot of the fan base, if you get what I mean, like Black Lives Matter, especially in basketball, football, and baseball, same thing. It's the same thing. So now the LGBTQ, and this guy put out a statement. I am a Christian. I do not believe that. I do not. He
basically said that he's not against people living their life how they want to live it, but his beliefs are that of Christianity, and he's a Christian, and he adheres to the Bible as type of like the law in his life, the main law. So him wearing something that promotes that doesn't make sense.
I'm going to read this, and this is a quote for him. This is what his statement came out. This is from James Reimar, who's the goalie for the San Jose Sharks. Under the umbrella of the NHL's Hockey is for Everyone initiative, which hockey is for everyone. For fuck's sake, I'm a huge hockey fan. The San Jose Sharks have chosen to wear jerseys in support of the LGBTQIA+ community tonight. For all 13 years of my NHL career, I have been a Christian, not just in title, but in how I choose to live my life daily. I have a personal faith in Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for my sins, and in response, asked me to love everyone. Listen to what he's saying. Asked me to love everyone and follow him. I have no hate in my heart for anyone, and I have always strived to treat everyone that I encounter with respect and kindness. In this specific instance, I am choosing not to endorse something that is counter to my personal convictions or beliefs, which are based on the Bible, the highest authority in my life. I strongly believe that every person has value and worth, and the LGBTQ, the alphabet, I'm sorry, I can't. Community, like all others, should be welcomed in all aspects of the game of hockey. So what he's saying, and he's being ostracized.
Well, he's saying, I give you your space, give me mine. And that's an honest ask. But
people aren't allowing him to do that because he doesn't support it.
This is those
people. And this is where the problem is with fucking people. They think they know everything and know nothing.
And this is the same thing that Connor and I was talking about earlier with tribalism, the adherence of you're either with us or you're the enemy. Yeah. No, I can just be like, do you, I'll do me, we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go around wearing a fucking pride flag because I'm not against fucking gay people.
Here's the problem. Kratos. Here's the thing. He's not saying
it's not an excuse.
That's his belief, though. And if you can't respect that, then you're no better than the person that actually hates those people. So therein lies the fucking problem. Respect what he says. And I do. I support everybody. Like, for fuck's sake, I don't understand why people have to worry about what others do. Worry about your fucking self.
Yeah.
If you start worrying about others, then you're missing the whole point of life.
He's not saying he won't wear a Pride jersey because he's against everything about Pride. It's just not for him. And it's not what he wants to do. Why does personal choice get taken out of this in favor of being part of the conglomerate? It's not like people have to understand that not being 100% with everything that LGBTQIA plus stands for, not all of it's for everyone. A lot of people are fine. You do you, I'll do me. But when it starts to impact your personal life and people are telling you how to react and how to act or else you're an enemy, that is fucking fucked up thinking.
It is. I mean, frankly, at the end of the day, yes, he's saying he lives his life by the Bible. That's his choice. He interprets the Bible the way he wants to interpret it. Everybody interprets the Bible in a way that they want to interpret it and how they read it.
If you are a Christian, you go by what the Bible says. If you're not a Christian, you don't go by what the Bible says. So what he said is 100% correct.
See, I'm not a religious person. Then again, if I was part of like, okay, if all of a sudden my work is like, okay, everybody's gonna wear a rainbow fucking shirt or whatever for Pride Day, like I should feel okay saying no, I don't want to wear it.
Yes, you should.
And it should be the same as if, oh, we're all gonna wear fucking American T-shirts for whatever the reason is, and people should be able to say no. Black Lives Matter. Like you should be able to say no without feeling like you're a fucking villain.
If you see me wearing a rainbow shirt, a shirt with a rainbow on it, that doesn't mean that I support something. I'm just wearing a rainbow shirt that day.
Yeah, but that's the idea, is that you're like the thing is, I can also be like, I don't find a problem in Reimar's response. And anybody that's gonna like pinpoint this and that, and you find a problem with his response, you might want to reflect on why you find a problem with that response, because now you're kind of trying to control someone else's life. Like the whole fucking LGBTQIA thing has been fighting for equality and allowance to be themselves.
He's not saying the Bible is the reason why. His faith is the reason why. The Bible is only part of that.
I feel like when he's saying the Bible, I feel like when he's saying the Bible, it's his structure in life that he fucking relies on. Anytime, like, I mean, faith in general, when people are very religious, they usually rely on that, whatever the fucking book is, to kind of guide them through things they don't really know what side they stand on. It's a way to kind of have a guiding force through your own life. He mentions the Bible. In the end, it's just he's a Christian, and though he doesn't necessarily believe in the LGBTQIA, he's not fucking coming to your house and beating you up or anything. He's just like, yeah, I don't really care. It's not for me, but it's for you, and that's fine. That's like trying to force someone to like fucking food they don't like just because you like it.
Like coleslaw?
Or steak burrito?
Listen,
but
that thing was delicious. All right,
Go
listen,
ahead.
It wasn't. The steak burrito was delicious. It was the exit that was not the exit strategy was not well received.
I'm sorry that I went off like that. I think people just need to worry about themselves and to quit worrying about what others do. Just because somebody doesn't believe something doesn't make them a bad fucking person.
No, it's their actions that do. So if he doesn't believe it and he fucking attacks people for it, that's a different story.
Just because they don't support something doesn't make them a bad person. Because if I supported everything, I would never be able to pay for my fucking house. You know, I'd be paying all these people to fucking take care of. It just makes no sense. Everyone in church under the idea that they'll be stuck. Okay, so here's the thing.
The church isn't for them.
Let me let her or him or non-binary. I know you said she was non-binary. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it, but does it matter? Does it need to be stated? I have a gay cousin. Okay, I told this story numerous times. I told my cousin 1,000 fucking times. He goes, "You don't know what it's like growing up as a gay man in society today."
Correct.
And I'm like, okay, either because you didn't grow up today.
Okay, I get that, and I respect that. But why would you have to walk into a McDonald's and say, "I'm gay"? You don't have to announce anything.
I think a lot of people actually think people care way more than they do. I personally don't give a flying shit if you fuck a broom. I don't want to know who you fuck.
Well, speaking of which,
the sexual, like whatever your sexual proclivity is, I don't care. I'm not here to watch you have sex. I'm here to just fucking talk to you. So like, if every conversation I'm gonna have with someone, they're like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay. By the way, I'm this." I get like it's part of your life. It's a big part of your life, but it's not all your life. And this is the thing that I fucking harp on with TV shows and movies all the time. Make a character, then if they're gay, they're gay. Don't make a gay character, and that's all they are.
I walked into a bar. I went into a bar one time, right? And I started talking to this young lady. This is before I met her. I started talking to this young lady. She goes, "Oh, just so you know, I'm gay." Okay, well, that's not why I'm talking.
That makes two of us.
People have got, I don't care.
Nobody cares.
Be what you want to be. And I've told my cousin this numerous times. I've got 2 cousins that are gay. Well, yeah, because I have my cousin's daughter. She's gay. Whatever. I don't care. Be you. You want to be you, be you. People, you don't need to announce anything. Nobody should care what you are or what you think you are. I don't need somebody to announce. It's like me walking into a fucking store saying, "I'm a straight man." Nobody cares. They'll look at me like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
Most of the people out there that you run into don't want to talk to you. Just take that into consideration. Most people you run into like a grocery store, people don't want to fucking talk to you, okay? There's the odd person that's going to speak to you, whatever, but most people just want to do their own fucking thing.
Right.
Nobody cares.
It all comes back to these videos that this one video of the girl in the fucking working out in the gym.
Oh my god. These fucking like, twat waffles.
Nobody's here. So what problem? And there's no context as to what happened. I don't know what happened. I know that there was dialogue between the
she got kicked out and banned from the gym.
Yeah, but I don't know what happened prior to that. If the guy came over and said, "Do you need a spot or anything like that?"
It's almost like a trend now on TikTok. These fucking people that are like, "Oh, I work out and I have a good body, so I'm gonna videotape myself working out. And anybody that looks at me while I'm there, I'm going to pinpoint as like objectifying me." It's like, man, you're in a fucking room. Eventually, someone's probably going to look at you. And especially if you have fucking 3 cameras and a bunch of lights, people are going to be like, what the fuck? First of all, if I went to a gym and somebody...
People are going to fucking look at you.
If I went to a gym and somebody set up camera equipment, I'd go up to them and be like, I do not want to be recorded.
Yeah, because you have the right. You have
unless it's a one-party consent state.
So...
But I would just say that first. Just to let them know, I do not want to be recorded. This is a public space. You're like, it's not the same as like, oh, I'm gonna set up shop in the middle of town square because people are walking through. This is a public space you're gonna be in for the next hour, working out. Most people just fucking want to get in better shape. They don't want to be part of your fucking weird ego world.
There are so many people, especially other women, that go to the gym and are so fucking subconscious of what they look like to begin with. They don't want that shit on camera.
It's not just women. The thing is, there's so many people that go to the gym that just want to get... It's hard enough to get through the doors for a lot of people just to get to the point where they're trying to better themselves and look better. And then you have this fucking fitness model out there doing fucking like... all these yoga stances while videotaping themselves, being like, "I think that guy looked at me." It's like, what the fuck are you? What the fuck are you talking about?
That's why I loved the video I shared with you guys in the chat so fucking much, because the one woman, she's fucking sitting there, stop looking at me. And the guy was literally just walking past and just happened to glance in her direction.
Yeah.
He didn't stop and stare at her.
Unreal.
He was an employee of the gym. He was making sure one of his people that is in the gym was being safe. And he happened to look in her direction. That's his job.
Anytime I've been in the gym, there's moments where you do look at people, and people look at you, and that's just part of it. It's not like a sexual thing. It's fucking, oh, I'm looking at this person and they're doing something either wrong with the machine or different than I've ever seen, or something. Like, it's human nature. It's different if somebody's like fucking staring at you and following you around the gym. Yeah, that's fucking weird. But not everybody gives a shit. And these people, the TikTok and like these influencers are the worst people anyway. Anywhere they're going, they're gonna set up like a fucking 3-camera, 7 light shit, and it's like, why are you looking at me? Because you're making a fucking movie at the gym. Who's not gonna look at you for this fucking stupid shit? It's like, you can't be a fucking pseudo actor in real life and expect people not to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
The fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
No, I just had some in my pocket.
Love fruit roll-ups. Yeah.
But yeah, the end of that video, the worker was just like, I'm an employee here. I can do what the fuck I want as far as this gym.
He banned her ass.
Says, stop looking at me. Stop looking at me.
He banned her ass.
What does that even mean? And then he finally says, okay, I'm getting the cops here. You're getting trespassed, and you're getting out.
Yeah, he said, come up to the front desk. I was like, yes, please, Lord. And I know there's like a guy that I've seen a couple times who's like a fitness guy that talks about these scenarios happening. And it almost seems like the people in question are going there and they're instigating this.
Yes.
And then they're like recording it to be like, oh, look at me, more views. The fucking weird shit is you get somebody that's not participating, doesn't want to participate, and God knows if this goes like super viral, what it would do to their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid.
Like an unwilling participant in a video.
A couple weeks ago, the video that you had put in the chat for us. At the end of that video, all he was going to do was ask her if she needed help putting the weights back. That was it.
Yep. I hate people.
Yeah, I do. I seriously do. I hate them all.
People sit there and say we need to be less judgmental. Then you got these fucking cunt bags out there doing that shit.
Everybody is super judgmental. It's human nature. I hate when people like pretend like we're not just terrible. It's like you know how people are. Why does everybody have to pretend like we're not the way we are? And then be like, oh my God, how could you? It's like, well, fuck you. You would do it too. Exactly. You do it too. I hate it.
It is that Michael Scott. Why are you the way you are?
It's just like, yes, there's obvious creepness, but like the idea that everybody's a fucking saint when most people are fucking garbage piles. Come on.
It's not as overabundant as these fucking stupid bitches are making it seem. And I'm willing to bet that both of these girls are the type of girl that if they're not attracted to you, that's how they're going to behave. But if they're attracted to you, they would accidentally fall in the gym with their ass poking out directly in your direction.
Well, we're living in the day and age of inflated self-worth, where anybody that is young, overly full of themselves, and has a camera can get fucking thousands of millions of fucking simple-minded weirdos following them.
Yep.
So whatever. But fuck this topic. Fuck everything.
Yes.
So what else is there to talk about?
There is, we talk so much about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we have to talk about the DCEU. And this is that transitional period between them killing their products and getting them out there before James Gunn starts up. Shazam.
Yep, Shazam. I am intrigued how this is going to play out. I mean, Flash is kind of the reset button, but they have at least 2 other films, and like they have obviously Shazam just came out, Flash is next, and then there's Aquaman 2, and then I think Blue Beetle will be the last of the projects that James Gunn is not like directly involved with as far as the
they're the
DC
only
universe.
ones left that did not get put in the can.
Right. So it is going to be interesting to see how things play out. So far, Shazam opened up this weekend. I've heard like review wise that I heard it's not horrible, but it's not anything to be like, wow, amazing kind of responses.
The way that I've seen Shazam at least is that yes, it's worse than the first one, at least critically, but it did underperform financially, which in my mind is 100% expected.
Yeah.
They did something really stupid, and they announced James Gunn's resetting of the universe way too early. I mean,
especially they knew these are coming down the pipeline.
There was really no reason to do that.
The problem is, and I think the reason why it's underwhelming is, I blame Marvel.
They're oversaturating the market, yeah.
Well, that's one thing.
Really, truly, and honestly getting sick and tired of superhero movies.
Yeah, and the reason I will echo that more than anything is the fact that every single superhero movie that's released in the last little while has gotten really middling responses.
Yeah.
And Marvel is stuck in this rut where every movie has to serve a bigger purpose, so no movie is actually exceptional. And the DCEU is not to the point where they're going to start having that. So all of these movies really are just being thrown out to the wild to be fucking devoured by wolves because there's no future for them. So Marvel has trained its audience to always believe that everything is going to lead to something bigger, lead to something bigger, lead to something bigger. That's why when I hear that a Shazam 2 is coming out when they're resetting the universe in 2 years,
not the smartest.
Yeah, it's hard to.
According here to IMDb, it's got 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is 53%. Metacritic is 46%. And 91% of Google users actually liked this movie.
So it might be the case of the thing is the original Shazam, I found it pretty enjoyable. I'd probably give it I think 6.5 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. It was fun enough. This one, however,
budget of $125 million.
This one, however, goes away from I think the main character because it becomes like a family of Shazamers. Which I mean, if there's too many characters, it's going to be pretty diluted. We've already seen that happen.
Box office numbers right now are $65.5 million.
So, yeah.
For a superhero movie, it's underperforming, but I am 100% down with superhero movies underperforming because I am tired of them. I'm just tired of what the superhero genre has done to it has done to movies in general. Mm-hmm. It has made movies as an art form terrible because they're all the same fucking movie coming out, and because they make the most money, they've kind of killed most original ideas. You hardly get original ideas anymore.
Every movie. So here, and I think we've talked about this. I think people think it's a failure because it's not making money, which tells me it's not a blockbuster because it didn't fucking make any money. A good movie is about what is presented to you, not how much fucking money it makes.
Yeah. Well, this is where the industry has gone, though.
If it's meant to be a fun movie, like the Major League movies, which I fucking love. Well, the first two, anyway. The first two movies, I've loved them. Just because, yeah, there's some antics in those movies, but they're pretty much right in line with, it's an underdog story made into a comedy. It's pretty good. And I didn't care how much money it made. It's how I felt about the movie. It's how you feel about the movie. Just because it doesn't make money. People don't go to the movies anymore.
They can't afford to because it's fucking $20 just for a ticket.
But also, half the movie-going public, half the movie going public won't go because it's all superhero movies. They have ostracized a huge amount of the public that would have gone to movies because every movie is a fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe, DCEU fucking shit fest. In all honesty,
it's either a fucking superhero movie or it's a horror movie. There's nothing in between anymore.
I will never go to the theater again for a Marvel movie or a DCEU movie. I'll never watch a superhero movie in the theater because I know it's going to be on streaming relatively soon. And when I watch it there, I have really low expectations. The movies, everything that was good has been done for them, and every other movie seems to just be like, we need to check this box, this box, this box. Is it 2 hours and 40 minutes? Good. We might want to push that up to 3 hours. Why? It's fucking boring as shit half the time. And it's filled with CGI that's rushed. It just never looks good. I mean, bottom line is I just rather see original movies. I love movies, but I love when movies were movies, not fucking a commercial for the next movie they're making.
Yeah.
All of your really good movies never get any...
No.
They become cult classics later on.
The thing is, they never get like huge numbers at the box office, but this is a reality check, I hope, for Hollywood, where you need to pay less at some point in time. You need to make movies for less that are worth more. Yep. Storyline-wise and cinematically, just throwing $1 trillion at a fucking storyline that's written by a Down syndrome fucking baby. But come on, man. Like Thor, what was the last one? Thor fucking Love and Thunder. Man, my God, man. That movie was fucking brain dead.
It was at points, but for what it was, I enjoyed it. So, but it's also it comes down to the point of if Hollywood needs new material, I have a book for sale on Amazon.
Oh my God, you say that every time.
It's a sci-fi.
What do you
Hollywood can get new material, but they can't bank on it making money. Right now, Hollywood is in this weird spiral where it's like, we need $1 billion return or it's not worth the investment. This is why you either get these indie films that never show up in the fucking theater, or you get Avatar, or 18 fucking Marvel movies.
Go ahead. Hey, what do you think?
17 Marvel movies.
Yeah,
no,
get it right.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm just as sick of it. I'm actually, when they announced that supposedly, what's up, Arusha? When they announced that they were going to be scaling back the release of the Marvel movies, I was like, fuck yeah, like let's scale it back because less is more at this point because of like how much they shoved down our fucking throats in the last 2 years. So I'm all in favor of it, and I feel like, yeah, the superhero genre needs to either breathe or we need some good stuff in between to really like. It can't just be all superhero shit at this point. Like even I'm like clamoring for like, give me something different. I really want to see that
comedy that's actually funny.
I want to see that Everything Everywhere All at Once. That looked really, really good. I obviously want to see Oppenheimer this year. That looks like it looks very good. There's a couple of other things like coming through the cracks, but like it's a weird imbalance because obviously the superhero film genre is what brought people back to the theaters en masse after COVID. So it's kind of going to be a juggling act for a couple of years until a couple other stuff gets, good enough to draw people back in and need some good stuff going on. I want a Mummy 5, damn it, with Brendan Fraser.
Right now, all I hear...
It needs to be Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Yep.
Right now, all I hear is Marvel movies and fucking weird-ass horror versions of kid stories. Because now they're doing a fucking Wizard of Oz one.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's about her daughter or some shit. I don't fucking care. It's going to be terrible.
I really honestly hate to say this, and congratulations to Brendan Fraser.
Yeah,
I am afraid that if they do that Mumpy movie, he's going to become. Well, I should win an Oscar for this too.
He's not that.
No,
I don't think he'll ever win another Oscar.
I don't think so.
Fine with.
which I'm fine with.
And I think he's extremely ecstatic with just the one.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him back in the role because the fucking Mummy they did with Tom Cruise was horrible.
Oh, no, that was fine. That was fine.
That was terrible.
No, it was not.
You know what I would love to see too? Like the idea that James Gunn has with the DCU, at least what he said, of like we want to create very distinct properties with the director's division being realized. Please, God, give that to Marvel Cinematic Universe. I am so tired of seeing the same fucking movie. Every movie is the same. They're all legitimately the same movie at their core, and even beyond their core. Everybody's fucking Tony Stark. And everything is a CGI mess. I can't.
I really want to see Guardians 3, so I mean, that's probably the one I'm most excited for out of everything this year.
That's pretty much the only thing I'm excited for coming from them.
Yeah, because it's James Gunn directing.
Exactly.
Surprise, surprise.
What?
I said surprise, surprise. The MCU in my mind is in trouble, but the DCU is fucking in shambles. Like, honestly, I don't really get the idea of shoving out these last couple movies before they change. I know that they were already recorded, but why they went about things in the order they went about them is mind-boggling to me.
I think it's only because they needed something to help them.
They need to like save face. They need to be like, there's hope. There's hope in the future.
Be able to afford to do James Gunn's visions and whatnot.
I would have preferred if they did like James Gunn is going to take on the mantle of the DCEU moving forward. That's all I'm sharing. Here's Shazam. Here's the Flash. The Flash gets released, or Blue Beetle, whatever the fuck comes next. Whatever the last one is gets released, and it's like we are rebooting the universe. This is the order of the movies coming out. But like releasing that information first just kind of fucking torpedoed these movies into the earth.
Yeah, basically. But I think Flash will hopefully create a little bit more.
Well, Flash is already out, isn't it?
No.
Nope.
Shazam.
June.
I think the Flash is going to be the biggest one of the ones that they release. It'll still probably perform just where projected, in all honesty, if not underperform, because they need to show enough of it to show that it is resetting the universe, so that people are willing to watch it because they know it's connected, which is such a fucked up thing to say. They created an environment of movie watchers that need to know something's connected to the next thing they haven't seen in order for it to be worth watching.
Correct.
Which is stupid. It should be a surprise that it's connected to the movie before.
So they created.
They're thinking marketing wise.
So the way that movies are going is they're just TV shows with higher budgets
and longer runtimes.
Basically. Cool.
I have nothing.
I can't wait to watch Echo.
Yeah.
No.
Echo.
No.
Who the
Echo.
Terrible. Just kill me.
It's the next Marvel movie.
Just run me over with a tractor.
No. Actually, they delayed that, I think, too.
I hope they delay it till never being shown.
I think everything apart from Guardians has gotten pushed back.
Yeah.
They're even pushing some Star Wars stuff.
Well, they definitely need help with that. They need help with everything they're doing.
The Mandalorian's actually pretty good.
I haven't seen any of the new season, but
Season 2, it's only three episodes in.
I gotta watch the last two behind.
And it's all right. I mean, it's not. I don't hate it. I like everything ties together. So ultimately, they're going to tie everything together. It's going to start tying everything together because they're going to go forward up to Force Awakens. That's where they're going. They're just going to tie everything together.
All right, I do not like.
Stop. I'm talking about they have to tie everything because there's so many questions that need to be answered. However, the next set of movies that come out will not be after. They will not have anything to do with Rey Skywalker. They will probably be prior to the Skywalkers, period. I'm just saying, The Mandalorian, everything has to tie together because they need to answer questions. Dave Filoni's pretty good at tying things together and making sure that everything, so that they can just move on, like you want them to, away from the universe that they have now.
I do not like them emotionally manipulating their audience with Grogu. That was such a fucking shitty mood. Yeah, they said he's leaving and he's gone and he's gonna go here and then he's back. So come on, that's horseshit.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean,
that's like the character's dead, but he isn't.
Well, I wish they would have killed him.
I really don't like. That is the one thing I like the Mandalorian up until the end of season. I think it was 2. I haven't seen season 3 yet, but that to me is a betrayal of writing. Because yes, how is it not?
Wait, you said it's a betrayal of what though?
Of writing. They fucking wrote out this big emphatic ending of him leaving and being like the biggest point. It's pretty much the most important point of the storyline up until this point, and then they're like, it didn't happen.
Well, yeah, it's bullshit, but at the same time, like, I had a feeling they were going to bring him back because we all knew how much of a cash grab he was.
That's part of the reason why they brought
him. Don't even do it then. Why just have him not go with fucking Luke?
He does go.
That's why
don't just have him not go with Luke in that moment. I hate the fucking. We're gonna have him go with Luke, and then we're gonna show you what happens in a story that fucking half the people are watching on about somebody completely different. Like what?
Yes.
Terrible. It's like AEW fucking storyline. Watch Dark to find out what happened to Grogu.
Huh?
Yeah, I do.
I don't think that's true at all. But anyway.
Well, you had to watch fucking Boba Fett's shit to find out what was going on with Grogu. No. In a story, yeah, that's where they. Oh God.
On any note,
that's where that happens.
I know. Anything else wanted to discuss? Did I miss anything?
I mean, there's nothing that Wednesday I'm going to fucking go off on football bullshit. Billionaires fighting with millionaires. Jesus Christ, man. Fucking hate that shit.
Yeah, Rue, hire us. Well, you know what? Hire Basement and JP. Tony Khan could just take me for Ring of Honor. That's all I want. Don't give me Hollywood. Just give me Ring of Honor. Give it to me.
I'm so sick of fucking Aaron Rodgers saying I'm the greatest player in Packers franchise history. Boy, that's really fucking subjective, but let's put yourself on a fucking pedestal, you fucking clown. Fucking idiot.
You gotta stop hiding shit on yourself.
Where did I hide it?
Up in the cabinet above the fucking...
Oh, okay.
In that Tupperware thing with the other filters.
All right, whatever. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some free agency on Wednesday. It's some shit that's going on. Fucking, there's one Kevin Byard who's in. Cody knows who I'm talking about. The Titans approached him to take a pay cut because they probably can't go out and pick players up because they're over the salary cap or close to it. And they probably want to do some things and make some moves in free agency like they need to because they weren't very good last year. And he said, no, I'm not taking a pay cut. I don't deserve a pay cut. But yeah, my thinking is, and this is why I take the side of most owners, most organizations, because what people don't realize, yes, they are billionaires, but what's wrong with taking a pay cut and then being able to go out and get other... Because you can't use your own fucking money to go out and pay for fucking football players. You have to stay within the rules of the game. That's why they have a fucking salary cap. So you have to get under the salary cap. These players have got to understand, well, I want to be the highest paid player in football. Yeah, I want to be the highest paid family readiness support assistant in fucking
Wisconsin.
In the world of fucking family readiness support assistants, but that ain't gonna fucking happen. I can't negotiate. I mean, it's big, hairy fucking deal. If you can't take pride in your job and want your team to succeed, this is why a lot of these fucking football players are more about me.
No, it's becoming like basketball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, where it's the celebrity of being the star is more important than the team winning anything. You look at
he's good, but he's great.
Every single
he
fucking
money he's getting paid.
Every single fucking young basketball star now is being handed like the keys to the kingdom without having to prove anything, and it's killing the sport because they're all divas. So fuck them. JP, you did bring something up that I didn't look into, but it was about Elon Musk, about taxes. Taxes. Elon Musk said something about taxes.
Oh, people are fucking shitting on him because he like paid 53% in taxes or something like that.
Yeah.
So people are shitting on him, and it's like, well, you paid 53%. It doesn't. The guy paid more taxes than anybody in the history of paying taxes. Imagine this: the guy is a multi-billionaire, right? He had to pay taxes on that billions, right? Mm-hmm. I bet he paid more in taxes than everybody in the state of fucking Wisconsin did. Think about that for a fucking minute. Well, I can't say that because there's a couple of the Johnson family's pretty rich around here. The Kraft family that they own the Oscar Mayer.
Oscar Mayer Wiener.
People need to shut the fuck. 53%. I think he said something like he paid 53% in taxes or something like that. I can't remember what he.
And he said I paid 53% in taxes on my Tesla stocks because he doesn't take a personal income off of Tesla. He just works off of the stocks.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, he was like, "Is the 3% quoted above accurate?"
Yeah, 3% for Biden.
In the comments are saying no, that 3% is inaccurate. So they were agreeing with him.
But there were some people.
There are some in there.
There's some people out there. You need to pay your fair share. I think he pretty much fucking did.
I feel like no matter how much you earn, the percentage should be the same for everybody. So that if if you're earning a bunch, and I know it gets complicated with like billionaires because a lot of their money is like not something that they have on hand. It's invested here and there and here and there. I still feel like it should be what is your worth overall, including investments, and then a tax upon that. And even Elon Musk came out and said like the way to fix a lot of this is a carbon tax. Because if you have to pay tax on your carbon footprint as a company owner or anything like that, it's going to be a lot higher than it would be for like a regular individual.
I'm going to tell you right now, England does something like that, and it's ridiculous.
I just wish people would just like. Here's the way I look at it. Most of these billionaires employ people. And if you start taking all of their money, they're going to start laying people off because, I mean, they have to fucking live too. And I know that they're fucking billionaires, but god damn it. If you want to start taking their fucking money,
I would say
I've always posed the question, what's a fair share? Nobody can give you a fucking answer on what the fair share
honestly,
is.
I would just say whatever your overall earnings for the year, wherever they're held, if it's whatever it is and whoever you are, 10% of that, no matter who you are, no matter what it is, the overall earnings, whatever stock they're in, whatever they're in, just take that. And that's that.
10% of my taxes taken away.
Right.
I would not be worried if I'm going to be able to feed my family.
But I think that percentage would. I mean, you can change the percentage to whatever you want, kind of. But like the 10%, when 10% is taken away from someone that has billions upon billions earnings for a year, you'll get a lot more put back in. I think you will overall end up with more. Right now, I get fucking taxed to death, so
yeah,
I know.
I know there was one politician, one guy that ran for president. I think it was right about the time that Barack Obama, and he said 9% across the board for everybody.
Yeah, I can get that 9% across the board.
That billionaire at 9. No, take this. The billionaire at 9%. He's paying $9 million. dollars in taxes.
Oh, if the billion is what he's earning for the year.
Right, but I'm just saying. Let's use that for an example. And then let's say I make 50,000. Just going to throw that out there. Take 9% of that. That is $45,000 that I make, or no, it'd be 4,500.
Yeah. See, and I feel like, why is it such a hard thing to tackle? And I get that a lot of billionaires.
Because you have the politicians who sit there and say, "Oh no, I'm not having that much of my money taken out just for it to be paid back to me." And
well, then you have to have a magnifying glass on the fact that half their fucking money is made off of fucking bullshit that they're investing in somewhere else or pocketing from the fucking government. Like, yeah.
So business owners here, whoever businesses and business owners, they pay taxes
on the business.
So what taxes come out of my pay, your pay? Let's say you work for McDonald's, right? McDonald's pays into the government on your taxes
for your payroll.
Called payroll taxes. So they are getting that taken out of them, and then on top of that, they get their own taxes taken out because they're making money. They have to make money, right? So they're getting money taken out of their taxes, which is why you see a lot of fucking tax write-offs and tax credits.
Basically, you treat the business as another person, and you have a paycheck coming from that business. You might own it, but you have to have, this is how much my own business is paying me. Like, the way it's done now is fucking asinine, because there are a bunch of people fucking hiding their finances overseas or wherever, not paying jack shit for anything, and that's just that. And they're the ones that have like quadrillion dollars. And when people are like, "Oh, well, my 10% is higher than your 10%," so is your full fucking paycheck, you quat.
My 10% is bigger than It's a 10% measuring contest.
All I feel is like there's a easier answer than any fucking person wants to accept, because most of the time people are like,
it's they don't want to do the math behind it because it's too hard for them.
No, man, they make it.
We also see that it's also coming down to, with the government, it comes down to, okay, how can we split these taxes up between our pay and our programs?
But there's these unnecessary like tax breaks that exist that are just like fucking, it's like so catered to a specific person. Like, well, you can get this tax credit if you fit in the next following 18 categories. What?
Do you have a bear suit?
Well, if we donate to charity, that's a tax credit for us.
I know, but you have to keep track of everything you donate, if it's an accredited charity and what it is. And it's only really worth reporting if you donate a
card that has their tax number on it.
If you have children in the United States, you get a credit.
Yeah, it's the same for Canada. There's certain things that qualify you for a credit, but then there's these weird fucking credits that you can look into when you're doing your taxes, where it's like, what? Do you have one leg and live on the south side of Ontario? Because you might get 10 cents.
That's the hop if you're lucky tax, right?
It's so ridiculous. Taxes are ridiculous. The whole idea is ridiculous, and it's just half the time you do like your taxes, you get a tax return, and it's like, what I find fucking hilarious is now that there's like while I was like watching YouTube, the ads come up, and the ads are like, how you could buy this with your tax return, or that with your tax return. It's like, man, I'm just getting the money back that I'm owed, for fuck's sakes.
That's exactly what you're doing. So yes, and it happens. Like when you get paid. Nope. See, Wendy's seen herself. She's actually watching us out.
I have a big TV out there.
I was sitting out there. She goes, "I can only see mommy," and I said, "Well, you're gonna see me in a couple minutes." I come in. She came in here getting all excited, but now she's seen herself. So now she thinks she's a fucking celebrity now. But
giving her child one complex at a time.
So I think she's confused as to what's going on. But so that's what that whole income tax return is for you to go and spend that money. It's to feed the money back into the economy. Is what it is.
It's marketed that way. However, it's just money I deserve and should be given back to me anyway.
Well, that's your return. What your income tax goes towards.
So the money that I get after doing my taxes.
Yes, like I said, your return.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That money, they're like, oh well, here. That's why you see fucking people at fucking Walmart buying. Here she goes. See, I'm telling you. Now she's gonna go watch.
I just hate the marketing behind it that I saw on like ads. Now that you've got this, buy this piece of shit. It's like, okay, what?
Yeah, that's what it is, and I wish they would. I wish I was smarter with it, but we needed to buy things.
So
like
what's fun?
Wants to paint the house.
What's funny is
just bought one room at a time, and that would have saved so much money.
What's funny is that because I'm going through going through debt consolidation, and so you kind of have to not ignore, but you have to kind of like let things, you basically turn everything over to the debt consolidation. So I'm still getting notifications like, "Hey, you missed your payments," and it's like, "No, don't worry about the payments. You'll get notifications from the creditors." But literally, one of them said, "Did you get your refund yet?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wow, that's fucking."
Mm-hmm.
You're
banking on it to be it's their
That's
season. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh man. But anywho.
I just want to stop complaining about fucking,
Yeah.
How the rich don't pay their fair share. They do. They pay more than you do. Like, I have to explain this to my mom. Well, Donald Trump didn't pay his taxes. Mom, I'm pretty sure he fucking did. He usually pays them at the beginning of the year, so that he, whatever. They do it different than we do.
Dad is talking.
No, don't want one, but thank you. Oh my God, I have one, for fuck's sake. Oh my God.
But I don't think she wanted you to take them away from her after asking you.
They handed it to me.
No, she was just holding the bag up.
So that's all I wanted to say. I get it. They're rich. They make more money than I do. But God damn it, they worked for it.
If you're so upset about Jeff Bezos making so much money, maybe you should invent the thing that's going to take Amazon down.
I think people are mad because it wasn't their fucking idea.
Well, I mean,
Amazon.
I mean, me personally, I do feel it to be like a bit wild that somebody can make my salary in a minute. Like there's a bit of like an indiscrepancy in the world when that's possible, especially with like these bad things that are happening in the world, where part of me believes that there should be like a ceiling that people should be allowed to make yearly, because some of these people are making fucking an asinine amount of money.
So you want socialism?
To an extent, I think there's capitalism has failed because it's not capitalism at all anymore.
Yep.
There needs to be some form of reform, and I'm not saying the blatant strokes of socialism, but there is probably like a happy marriage between the two. I mean, if you have people fucking not able to get by living paycheck to paycheck, but being integral, being the people that needed to work through COVID, while you have somebody that didn't need to do anything through COVID making a fucking $1.5 million a day, there's a problem there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Fucking to move into Puerto Rico. Anyway.
Fix it.
We all check out Backlash being hosted by Bad Bunny. Was there anything else?
No.
I think we're in our usual runtime. So, Basement, we good?
I had this YouTube video, but I don't think.
Motherfucker. No. We can watch it.
Well, it's the fucking one I talked about earlier, which brings up some good points. It's not like racist or anything. It's just there's some points.
Okay.
Is it?
Let me set this. Oh God, this is gonna be a problem. This is gonna be a problem. It's Asian Harry Potter.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I already love this.
But he's just talking facts about race relations. Let's put this here. I'll share this with you guys. God, that changed everything.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh God, it really is.
I told you.
What?
I don't know.
It's up on the stream now.
Eat my booty hole.
Oh god. What the fuck?
I hope this actually captures properly. I don't know. Fuck it. Do it live.
I can see it nice and clear, so.
Okay. Oh, I can't hear him because it's muted.
Probably. Okay, here we go.
Oh, no, it's gone.
Hold on. Hold on.
I can't share it. There we go.
Huh. Fault of white people. Oh, there's examples?
Yeah, he goes pretty deep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Hold on. I don't think it's.
I love how it's an Asian person that's telling us all this, but go ahead.
I gotta fix it because it's not coming through audio wise.
Oh.
I
Well, they
don't
can read
think.
Subtitles, so it's not so bad.
Well,
Again, irony.
hold on. It's not even being shown. Why?
Stop clicking off of Discord and it'll be shown.
I don't. Well, I guess I could show it like this. Let's see. Oh god, I gotta click off Discord. I can't play it. No,
Liar.
It's not coming through.
Okay. Well.
Oh, hold on. Let me just fucking pause it. Oh god.
I just love how it's an Asian person telling us this with subtitles.
Yeah.
Just the irony is not lost on me. That's all I'm saying. He makes some valid points, though. I mean, it just this. Just sick of crap like this in general. He brings up. I'm not like saying he's wrong or that it's a bad thing, but just like at the same time, it's like, can you just all just get along and not like reparations for everybody.
Right.
Maybe this.
Everybody.
Miss people wouldn't dare say.
Yeah.
No, okay, so like the reason I brought it up is because he eventually does link it to there's certain things that can be said about like one race that can't be said about others now. Then this is what I was referring to, where like we're going back down into the rabbit hole of racism. However, the way that he ends up playing it out, I like I said, I don't agree with everything he says, but like certain things he says are on point.
Right.
Like the beginning.
Oh well, hold on. I think
about people of any other race.
It's
Take a
covered
look
now.
at what is stunningly in vogue in today's society and ask yourselves, where does this lead to years down the line?
You have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color. You need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person.
Accomplices ask, how can they support Black and Indigenous
It's just like every time I hear things that are terrible like this, I'm just like, if you replace white with any other race, it would be just as bad.
Cause the white genocide that they are so afraid of. With 2.25 billion Asian women and 500 million white men, baby, it'll only take 2 generations. In 2 generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired.
These are some things I noticed about white American culture. Being grounded is a punishment to them. That's what they call punishment. The least grounded, least balanced, most destructive race considers being grounded a punishment? Yeah. They also say really violent phrases. They say things like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why do we have to kill the birds? Why is everything so violent?
Fucking ass up in the morning.
One's language and phrases reflects one's nature.
Fuck birds.
So that new movie on Netflix.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
She's wearing a shower cap.
Okay.
Of the sensationalization of white violence. People have a much easier time sympathizing with white criminals than they do with Black victims. And people think these shows are harmless, but they actually contribute to a much bigger issue. It contributes to the
I'm enthralled by the fish
white
behind her.
people are less
That's all I care
violent
about.
than everyone else. And white
going on
violence
here?
is something to be consumed in media, and that's it.
That's just her.
Caucasian people and like their inability to like read a fucking room. Like y'all act
Their
like you don't
inability to
understand
read a
shit
fucking-
because y'all be the first ones during a conversation about the Holocaust to get so mad when Black people be like, you do realize that the original Jewish people were Black, right? White people do not need to explain to anybody about us all bleeding red because, baby,
Why does she live?
you all are the people that need to learn.
Why does she have a
that
British
lesson.
mouth in
Clearly,
America?
history shows that you all are the people to pillage and eradicate, enslave and oppress, attempt to suppress greatness because you all simply don't have it.
Right? Here go y'all cum goblins who don't even live in the fucking states, which by the way, the
Cum
Cuban
goblin.
people are the last
Right.
ones to ever
Cum
talk about
goblins.
somebody stealing anything. Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it. So y'all are more focused on people looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes, a TV is a fucking necessity thing. You feel like you're better than because people
TV
are
is
out here
nice.
stealing and you would never. First of all, if you are a Mayo monster, that is how your
Mayo
ancestors got everything. Stealing.
That's my new name.
I stop it for a second. Can you stop it for a second?
Oh, no, stop it
Did
for
that one lady just refer to white people as male
Male
monsters?
monsters. Yeah,
That's all I wanted to clarify.
fucking love that.
Good God, you fucking people.
It infuriates me to see 20-somethings speak as if they
Know anything?
even if they did. TikTok is not the place to do so without at least spinning the idea that you are looking for some sort of grandstanding platform to make yourself look good and or noble for whatever's a hole in your fucking life, even if you are right about what you're talking about.
But I can tell you, like any other race comes out and pretty much says the same shit, but like replace all these terms with like what we know as racial terms for any other color. And this shit is landing you in jail.
Yes.
You're not wrong. Bitch can choke on her orange juice.
Why do you have two different cups of it?
Refill.
Helping millions. Nothing says high protein like cicadas and cheese.
That was me after the Taco Bell. Right there.
Nothing says caucasity like that right there.
What
Are
caucasity looks
you?
like. Roaming Asian grocery
Caucasity
store,
is a
like an
word?
amusement park.
Explain to me why white people don't wear shoes outdoor, but wear shoes inside.
They're both white women. We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color simply by existing.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism. That is a true threat and the terrorism to this country.
If BIPOCs stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, I hate all white people, I want all white people to go die, white devil, you cracker bitch. That's still not racism.
You're not one of the good white people. Stop separating us from the bad white people. Don't sit out there in comments and say, we don't claim them. We are them. We are the ones shooting up schools.
We are the
ones raping people,
world.
the ones enslaving people.
And I'll say it. I hate being white.
Well, you're a fucking idiot.
Which means I'm one of the good ones.
Okay, that's funny. That was funny.
Can you be racist against white people?
Based off of the definition of racism, yes, but it's not gonna hurt them and hurt their opportunities like it does people of color.
While technically you can, it's not like an issue.
You can't oppress the oppressor.
You can't oppress the
Why do people not understand that you
I don't
can't
think
be
people know
racist
what the
to
definition
white
of
people?
oppress
It's
means.
impossible. The system is not set up that way. You can insult white people, but it is not racism. Me
Oh my
calling
God,
a
why
white
is there a
person a ton of
game
mayonnaise
playing
and
in the
like flour
background?
looking ass, it's not.
But she's
That's
a
not
fucking
racism.
idiot.
You went all the way
Because he's
to
got a
Africa
Tron
to
face going on.
take black people from their homes, shove them in on boats where a lot of them got diseases and
This
died.
person has no
my
idea.
fucking God.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
And he has to do all that stuff.
Again, this is one of those people that didn't read their fucking history book. Or didn't pay attention in history class.
She was more thinking about hating than she was about anything else.
Basement, please don't make me blow my brains out more by watching any more of this like I did with my fucking burrito explosion on fucking last night.
Y'all are getting off easy, and you're still saying no? Fuck you.
Some people look at that and chalk it up to the grumblings of the powerless. That's the idea that when you have a power disparity, the less powerful sort of has this general society given leeway to complain about the more powerful. The villagers complaining about their king doesn't have the same ring as the king making snide and crude comments about the villagers. But that's not what's going on here. Because although certain segments of our society refuse to believe this, even as evidence mount before our very eyes, in one side of the political aisle, people of color actually have greater power than white people. That is the truth that is not being acknowledged by the people that need to hear it, because this gets in the way of them wielding that power in the way they want, malignantly. I've heard from somewhere that politics is downstream of culture, and I think that is certainly correct. We have a mainstream culture that tells us it's okay to hold prejudice and hateful view of white people, and our politics is then infused with this energy, and we see active, overt, and on-the-books racial discrimination of white people that those who are perpetuating this hatred is refusing to see as discrimination. They'll say, no, this is remediation. These are the same people who are making tenuous arguments that some of our race-neutral laws discriminate against people of color. And this is certainly evidence that in one side of the political aisle, people of color have more power than white people. Because if we didn't have the power, we wouldn't be able to put into place practices and policies that does this. That's what power is. Things like Minneapolis local government agreeing to a contract with the teachers union that says white teachers must be fired first. New York City's government enacting a policy of having white seniors go to the back of the line on life-saving COVID treatment. A college professor that says white people should be killed and facing no repercussions. Cornell University banning white people from rock climbing lessons.
Rock climbing!
Oh my God.
All right. That was... Well, I mean, there's more, but it kind of goes over the idea that...
Good. I'll if this is for me to stop doing dad jokes, it fucking worked.
It's just one of those things that and I mean, I experienced this in my own life where I was not allowed to go to a work meeting because it was literally for black people only. which I thought was insane. In I think it was like 2020 that it happened.
I'm gonna say this right now. They want segregation back so badly. Let's bring it back and let them live like their fucking grandparents lived. See how quickly it changes.
I really hate this, but basically, I mean, we don't have to watch the rest of it. He does go on for a while, but it's kind of like he gets to a point where it's like if the history was reversed and it wasn't white people that did what they did, any other fucking color would have done the same thing because it's human nature, not racial nature. This is the white people aren't different than black people. They aren't different than Asians. They aren't different than anybody else. It's just when it came down to it, someone was going to colonize the earth.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be white people. But like the whole like at this point in time, you see some of the shit that he's saying is just like it is kind of like it's not to the extent obviously that it was in the past, but like you never know where it's gonna go for just sheer on acceptable hatred towards a race.
No kidding.
Which is very fucked up to me.
I literally looked up the definition of racist or racism because I was actually curious what the word, like when they were saying like, oh, can you be racist towards white people? Like, yes, you can, because racism is on a broad
very broad term, yes.
And the exact definition is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular race, racial, or ethnic group. Now, it does say typically one that is a minority or marginalized, but still.
All they did there was move the goalpost.
Yeah,
if I can use
I
that
mean,
term.
in all honesty, if we're going to have like there and he does mention this later on where he says there's BIPOC, so BIPOC meetings only, and he's like, well, that just says no white people, but they don't say no white people. They use the term BIPOC. It's exclusionary shit like this that's fucking weird to me. And like I said, in my own personal life, I've experienced that, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is very strange to me." Of like, you basically say you can't do something because of the color of your skin. That is the exact thing we fought against years ago, and I don't care who you are. That's racist as shit.
Yes.
Yep. Cool. So I'm cool with buying an island, and let's get the fuck out of here. Let's just fucking peace out. I'm all done. Cool.
The other thing too he alludes to heavily is that this is the young generation being taught to hate by race, and it's going to be a big problem down the line, because if you're taught to hate by race and you feel like that's the right thing to do, or you're justified in being so, what makes you different than fucking the thing that people are trying to get reparations for?
This is the con side of the internet as well. Is like for all the great things that online and digital technology has done and the internet has done for people, including bringing this wonderful band of misfits together. I'm not pointing it all solely on the internet, but the internet is an open, wild, wild west forum to allow stupid, insensitive, and stupid, misinformation, insensitive bullshit to flourish. Not just like flounder, fucking flourish. And it is astounding, infuriating, and awe-inspiring all at the same time. Meaning, like it is a dangerous wonder to behold sometimes how fucking some shit gets. It baffles me, and I hate being the one of saying back when I was a kid or back in my day, but just this shit. Some of this shit existed before the internet. Yeah, okay, fine, but like now everything is such a giant goddamn fucking platform with like instant accessibility and instant commenting, and everybody needs to know everybody's fucking opinion on everything. By the way, subscribe to our channel. That it just it's mind blowing, and I can't.
I mean,
can't. Brain on drugs, fried egg.
It's when I joined. Well, I shouldn't say when I joined the army. We had a colored kid come and move to my town of. I think we had 3,000 people lived in my community at the time. We had never had well, no, it's not true. We did have. But we became good friends, and it wasn't because, I felt obligated to be his friend. We started talking, and he was like, well, I play Tecmo and record it, which I'm like, well, fucking shit. I love doing that shit too. And that's, we became really good friends. I wasn't obligated to be his friend, and I mean, we still kind of talk today, but he moved away and, he lives in the state that I work for, but he, it's just one of those things, man. People have got to realize that not everybody is what people.
Not everything has to be a
The internet has made. The internet didn't exist when I was a kid, so I wasn't exposed to all of this shit that is going on in the world today. I mean, yes, I could watch the news and racism was there because they,
right.
But it wasn't talked about every fucking day.
That's what I'm saying.
You're sitting there like, oh my God, we got to talk about this. It wasn't a thing that we talked about all the time because we didn't care.
It cultivated
not that, and when I say we didn't care, and I'm sorry, Connor, when they say we didn't care, it's not that we didn't want to talk about it. It's we didn't. It wasn't something that was at the forefront of our thoughts at that time. I never thought in a million years that our society would become people that if you are this color or not this color, you are a bad person. Or if you don't believe something, if you don't support something outwardly, you're a bad person. You're as bad as those that are speaking out against it. I've never thought, and I'm with you with the I hate the world thing. I don't hate the world, but I hate what the world has become.
The thing is, I find
sad
when it comes to like race relations, I think it was very healthy to be able to. This is my honest opinion. I do feel like it was healthy to have dark humor jokes about race, where people didn't take everything so fucking seriously. Where it was like, oh, white people can't dance, like that kind of shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares because it's not a personal attack. It's like that offhand comment, be like, get a laugh from the friends, right? And it wasn't meant as hate.
Monster.
It wasn't meant as hate. That video though, like some of those like TikToks and stuff like that are just like they're just literally racial hate, and I know it exists for every race out there, and everybody out there that like participates in that can fuck off. I think you can make fun and pinpoint race as a fucking point of comedy, and still fucking love everybody of every color, and that's getting lost. Now it's like anything you say, but these people were saying things in a way that was just fucking meant to be hateful. It wasn't meant to be funny. The male monster shit was funny as shit. I will not lie, but I know her intent wasn't to be funny. Her intent was just to hate.
To be hateful.
Yeah.
To be hateful, because that's what she was raised to believe her whole fucking life.
Yeah.
She was raised to be a hateful person, as were all the other people in those TikToks. They were all raised to be hateful.
Yep. Well, I'm ready to punch a baby.
And I'm going to say it again. These people want segregation so badly and want to live like Martin Luther King did. Let's fucking bring it back and let them learn.
I don't want that in any way, shape, or form.
I'm getting an island. Y'all can come.
That's the thing. Like for the most part,
Getting away from society.
I just want to be kind of left alone. And I know it's kind of ironic that we're fucking on YouTube saying this shit, but like at the same time,
Oh, and you can download us on iTunes.
It's one of those things. I mean, you guys out there, if you want to, you can watch the whole video. It is what it is. I'm sure there's videos done with other races in mind that say the same shit. It's just weird to me that like the youth is being raised hateful.
So yeah, here's the thing. It's and this is the last thing I'll say because I gotta pee. The people like those people that were doing that TikTok video, and Heather said it. She said it to Mom the other day. My mom, because we were kind of talking about this kind of thing. These people are in the minority, but guess what? They are the loudest people. And everybody listens to what they're saying because they believe those people on that TikTok, those people doing that TikTok are worse than the neo-Nazis.
Well, I the thing is, like, I look at like that those TikToks and the ongoing belief of what is acceptable to say about what white people versus other people, and I worry for the future of any like white kid that thinks it's the same as like what happened in the past with people putting out there, oh, black people are inferior. It's the same idea, and it's just terrible to put on anybody. It shouldn't be done to any color of any person ever. So like, and he alludes to basically being like, if the answer to everything people of color went through in the past is to be the same to what was the oppressing class back then, we're all fucked because we're all terrible. At some point in time, we've all been terrible. So just rise above. I don't want anybody to be fucking racist to anybody else. And don't think it's okay to say some fucking hateful shit to people you don't know.
Yep.
Because it isn't.
$3 is you. I said it earlier. $3 is you want to be treated. If you don't want to be called a piece of shit, don't treat others like a piece of shit. It's that fucking simple. Simple as simple does, man. Live a simple life.
That's exactly how I'm living my life now with fucking work, because I get people that call in that are just terrible, and it's like, hey, goodbye. Because no.
Yeah.
I don't have time for anything like this. So on that high positive note, I think we're in the clear to wrap this up. At least I know I am, because I'm
ready.
Exhausted.
I gotta go eat some Taco Bell.
My brain is the way my stomach was from Taco Bell after that fun. Well, anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it as always. Thank you for joining our discussion about socio-political climate and racism from three or four white people. We do appreciate
it's too white to handle.
Two white. Hashtag support your local Mayo Monsters.
Mayo Monsters.
I'm fucking going to use that for a while. In fact, I might make that an HD dub character. Anyway, want to thank Heather, JP, Basement, and you all cool cats and kittens in the chat, Arush and Chew, Alpha, Frederico, Kratos, and everybody else in between. We'll be back tomorrow with Harry Potter Roundtable. It's going to be time for, just like my bottom, it's going to be the Goblet of Fire. Until then, we'll talk to you guys soon, and yeah, peace out, Girl Scouts.
Gobble my fire.